Yeah.
All right, so I have short-term memory loss. What was that song called?
No.
Fully Known. Fully Known and Loved by You. Perfect. All right, hello everybody. For those of you who, again, don't know me, I'm Sid, still a little new here, but I'm going to start off by just telling you a little bit about myself in hopes that you won't think I'm like bragging or anything. But I love athletics. I love attending sports games. I love cheering for sports, and I play sports. So growing up, I actually played basketball for 9 years, and I played volleyball for like about 7 years. And in middle school, I was on the boys flag football team, and for 3 years. Ooh, I got some curious faces. We can talk later. So I was, and it was probably the best experience of my entire life, because then from there on, girls were allowed to try out, and it was just a super awesome thing.
Yeah!
From that,
Woo!
I also tried water polo. I didn't like it as much, it's kind of hard, and I was like, no. So, love swimming. Lucky you. Well, I don't, I can't. So, after that, I decided, I'm in college now, so I am actually at Westmont on the track team.
Yeah! Go Warriors! Woo!
Alright, so talking again about this song, it says, I am fully known and loved by you in the lyrics. And I think something that I was thinking about the other day about that song, and I was like, you know what? That doesn't just apply to God. That applies to our families and even our friends. Can you agree? Fully known and loved by you. So, on that note, I will be talking about siblings and how they matter in relationships, and something that has to do with the Bible is that thing is the key to life, right? So, all that being said about, just how I played athletics and all that stuff, let me introduce you to my family. This is my mother and my father. I love them so much. Mother, beautiful mother. Super goofy father. My mom is very strong-willed. She taught me my leadership skills. My dad was my first coach and also my best critic. This is my brother. He's clearly taller than me and younger than me, 5 years younger than me actually.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he plays basketball and he's actually good.
He's younger than me. Stand up.
Whoa! Oh, what are they feeding you guys? I don't even know what they're feeding him. Man, I need some of that, honestly. And this is my sister. I love her so much. She is my best friend and an amazing role model. She was also my teammate at one point when I used to play with her. So,
What sport?
basketball, volleyball. And I played against her in flag football. So, that was also
You're on
super.
the right side or the left?
Can you guess?
The left.
I am on the left. The blonde probably gives it away. Now, that being said, my family is just very tight-knit. I mentioned my athletic history not to brag to you guys, but just that's something that we all bond over, and we play pickup games, we play volleyball, we play, all that stuff. But again, I hope that you guys can find some things that you have in common with your friends and family, just like I do in mine. Now, it's your turn. I want to know about you guys, and how we're going to do this is a raise of hand. So, who here plays sports? Whoa, we have a super athletic group here. Awesome people. All right, so, those of you who don't, that's okay. Do you guys enjoy reading? Do you guys enjoy reading? Drawing? Looking at art? Maybe doing it?
Yeah.
I love it. I love to see it. Now, who here has pets? Okay. Quite a few of you. I love that we're all animal people. This is just a great group of people to be around. This is awesome. All right, now, on this note, who here has siblings? That's okay, G, I see you. No worries. No worries. Nope, and you have great friends, so all good. We'll talk about that later. You hold that thought, and I'll remember to ask you. So, now, with a count of fingers, can you tell me how many siblings? I see 2, I see 3, I see 1.
Wait, who's in the middle?
Do I get a 4? 4 in the back. Okay. All right. Awesome. Whoa. Thank you for that valuable information. All right. Well, on that note, I mentioned a moment ago my siblings, of course, but I'm kind of a victim of being closer to one of them. I don't know about you guys, and that just happens naturally. I am only a year older, or younger than my sister, and 5 years older than my brother. So naturally, I'm just a little closer to my sister, or a lot closer. So while my sister's here up on the screen to kind of give you guys that visual, I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm a pretty jealous sibling of her. I'm pretty jealous. Yeah, I know. I compare myself to her all the time, and she was better than me at many things, and I kind of hated that.
Was she better at using basketball?
No. Don't tell her I told you that. She was more healthy than me. She was the nicer one than me. No. She connected with people better. She's the most selfless person I know. And growing up, I always get yelled at and punished, and if she did probably the same thing, it would just be a lesser of a sentence, and that kind of... Thank you. Yes. Amen. Let's no discredit to the parent side here. Okay, I hope you're taking notes. That all of us, no, I'm totally kidding. So, you know what, though, when I allowed jealousy to take over, it made me a very angry person. It made growing up hard. I was always comparing myself to her, and you know what I did? I acted on that jealousy. And I'm kind of bashing myself here, so I hope you guys still love me after this, but I would put her down by bringing myself up, and I would say mean things. Oh man. Okay. Well, and it's just not a good feeling though. It's not fun to put somebody down in order to make yourself feel better. So but you know what, actually, I'm not even gonna continue that because I could go on about how many mean things I did. Even after every time I would say harsh things to her and make her feel lesser than, she always forgave me. She's just the best. She always forgave me. She was always willing to shake it off. Most of the time, I didn't really apologize. And she was strong enough to let go of the mean things I say about her and give me grace, knowing I'm only reflecting how insecure and jealous I feel inside. And most of all, she loves me and we consider ourselves best friends, or each other best friends. So that leads me to a story that is relatable into the Bible, a story of siblings named Cain and Abel, who were brothers, and one of them was jealous. Oh, not yet. All right, so diving into the story of Cain and Abel. They are the sons of Adam and Eve. I don't know if you guys heard those names, maybe, but yes, I love to hear it. So, they're the sons. Firstborn is Cain. He is the farmer. He watches over the land, and he's just kind of like a big, tough guy, and just strong, serious face, yeah. And then there's a secondborn, Abel. He is the keeper of sheep, aka shepherd. So, those two are kind of opposites in a way, but anyways, one day, their parents asked them, Adam and Eve, they said, you need to give an offering to God to give him thanks. When do we want to do that? If we were given the opportunity, I would love to give thanks to God, and we do that in different ways here, but back then, they did sacrifices and just gifts. So here's a physical gift. And so, what they were doing was they would quarrel about what they're going to give each other. I mean, don't you do that? Hey, like, what are you going to give God? What are you going to give my friend? What are you going to... So, what Cain was doing was like, yo, I'm just gonna give him some of the crops. I'm a farmer. I'll give him the crops that I have plenty of. He probably didn't really even wash it, but he was like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm just going to give it up to God. I have plenty of it. And Abel was like, well, Cain, I think you should give something a little more meaningful. I get that there's crops to take care of, but it just think about something that could be more meaningful. And so Abel was like, I'm going to give him my best. And since I'm a shepherd, I'm going to give him a baby sheep that is healthy and that is well nourished. I'm not going to give him some grandpa sheep that can't even make it up the hill. So that was to keep that in mind. So then, the day comes where we are going to offer, or they're going to offer the gifts up to God. And what happened was when they offered these two separate things, God accepted Abel's and not Cain's. What?
Trauma!
What? Trauma! Dun, dun, dun. Thank you. So, Cain was like, no way. I am not accepted. You're not going to accept my gifts. And so through that grew jealousy. So Cain was the jealous one. And you know what he did? He acted on that jealousy of his own brother and really hurt him. I mean, like hurt him, like, you know what I mean? I see, yeah, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean. So, from that led to the point where the day after God was asking Cain, he goes, hey, I haven't seen your brother around. Where are you? Where's your brother? And Cain's like, I don't know. I don't know where my brother is. I'm not his keeper, even though he for sure knows where he is, right? So, and imagine lying to God. He fully knows us. He fully knows us. I'll hold that thought. We can talk about it later. So, after that, God was like, I know what you have done to your brother, and I know that you have acted out of jealousy. I know that you let sin win. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punish you because you can't just get away with that. But I still love you. You're not going to get away with it. So what God did was he ended up sentencing Cain to life as a fugitive and with no access to God. So imagine praying and God just not being there. So through that, it leads us to our passage here where Cain and his response. And then you can look up on the screen, or if those of you who have a Bible, you can open up to Genesis chapter 4. And it's right in the beginning. So I know it's a couple of you, but it's pretty easy. There. When you guys get there. All right, I'm gonna read this. So Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to him, do not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who found him would kill him. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod and east of Eden. Can you, and to kind of break that down, Cain was completely in the wrong, and he was like still telling God, like, I can't accept this punishment. I cannot bear it. Why would you sentence me out of here? Because seriously, you're my brother, which is totally a punishment that is due. But he was like, I cannot do this. And even though he was in the wrong, God still listened to him. And God was, even though he had already sentenced him, he was like, you're out. But Cain was crying, and God was like, oh, I still hear you. So you know what? I'm actually going to protect your life and not take it. So that's a sign of, like, major grace. Can you agree? And through that, even though Cain cried, like I said, God gave him grace. And that is something that we continue to mention here at youth group. And for those of you who actually don't know what grace means, it's a spontaneous gift from God to people. Generous, free, and totally unexpected and undeserved. So God was disappointed in Cain, but he still showed grace to him by allowing him to live in this world as a wanderer and not take his physical life, but protecting it. I hope after hearing this story, you can understand that naturally we get jealous. And as easy as it is for me to come up here and tell you guys that not to be jealous and not to look at your right or left or look at your sibling or even your friends, for those of you who don't have siblings. And it's easy to say that, but it's not easy to do it and not easy to act on it. So I want to encourage you guys that through this story, it's okay, like I said, to be jealous. We are human, but God calls us out to be honest about our thoughts and feelings, because there's always enough grace to go around, and he fully knows us and fully loves us just like our family and our friends do, right? Yes. Yes.
Yes!
Yes! Yes! Thank you. So, yeah, on that note, I'm going to close us out in prayer. Oh, actually, you know what? That was a lot of information to grasp, and I'm so sorry that I kind of threw that at you. So, you know what? I'm going to give you some 3 points to take away from that, if you remember anything at all. So the first thing is that Cain was the jealous older brother of Abel. And after acting on his jealousy, God still gave him
Grace!
Thank you.
Holla!
It didn't really sound in microphone, but...
Well, 2, be honest with God. He knows our hearts, he knows our thoughts, and he knows our hearts. Yes, fully known and loved. 3, it's okay to mess up. God doesn't disown us, but he doesn't let us off the hook. So again, there's enough grace to go around, but we gotta, by our human nature, we feel guilty of the bad things that we do, and we let sin win sometimes, and almost every day sin does win. And yes, so again, I'm going to close us out in prayer. If we could bow our heads and close our eyes.